Garage fam, welcome back to another edition of the NASCAR Race Preview Show presented by Hooters. It me, Garage Guy, joined with Dale Tanhardt in a pantry and special guest Rocky.
Yeah, happy birthday, Chase. I figured since it's the big day, we'd have ourselves a party. I'm back here at home in the heart of America with Rocky. I got Chef Boyardee behind me.
Check it out.
There he is.
Chef in Spirit. I talked to Chef
in
earlier.
Spirit. Yeah, he is like $40,000 richer after, what was that, Xfinity Montana? Or was that Vegas? Was that last weekend?
Vegas Xfinity. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So he's
Xfinity Vegas.
Feeling pretty fucking good. But something else that makes you feel good is Hooters. And as Dine and Dale, that is what they call me, I have a promo code for you to use to save you some money when you go to Hooters. If you dine at Hooters and have $40 or more worth of food, tell your waitress about promo code Garage Guys, and you will save $10 off that order of $40 or more. That's valid for food, non-alcoholic beverages, and merchandise. So get to Hooters. Dine and Dale has you covered with promo code Garage Guys. $40 or more, just tell it to your waitress. Easy as that. You get $10 off. It's a really beautiful thing. Like I said, Hooters. Dining at Hooters makes you feel good.
And it me, takeout guy. Figure we would go from carry out Chase or checkout Chase to just takeout guy. I'm now takeout guy. You want to take a guy out? Can't take me out. I'm married. But you take me to Hooters and I'll be there. But right now, if you go to Hooters and you want to take your food home with you, you can order on the Hooters app or from HootersToGo.com. Use promo code Garage Guys, and you're going to save $10 off any order, $30 or more when ordering from the Hooters app or from HootersToGo.com. Sometimes you can't stay, and that's okay, but you can still enjoy Hooters. So that's our wow.
He doesn't want me touching the Hooters card.
Rocky enjoys arm.
I'm not going to touch a Hooters card anymore. Sorry.
Yeah. He's protecting. He is the pantry protector.
He is protecting. Yeah, so
get
for
you
anybody
someone to protect the wings, like Rocky protects the pantry and tries to make love to quilts.
Here's some kibble. For some backstory, for a lot of most of the OG Garage fam know about Rocky. And even if you're new, you've seen this face on my betting cards. He's like 1,000 years old. He is a chihuahua who has food aggression that we rescued, and he will not sleep anywhere in the house except in this pantry that holds all the food, all the non-refrigerated food in the house. So he sleeps in here because he has to guard the dog food. Right. So that's the backstory on Rocky. And like I said, it's Chase's birthday, the big 30. Multiply that by 5, and that's how old Rocky is. So we're having a party, and that's the backstory on Rocky. He's not used to me sitting in here, so he's getting real aggressive in a territorial way, and he's humping me persistently.
I'm not used to him, like seeing him without trying to like bite your neck off. He's basically a Hispanic wolf.
Yeah.
So that's what Chihuahua is actually. So he's like an evolved form.
He is of Hispanic heritage. There's no question about it. Mm-hmm. And he's very, very feisty. And right now I've been sitting with him for about 10 minutes. So he's not going to be attacking me anymore, but he will be trying to sexually mate with my left arm. And
if I was there right now, I would just stick my hand out, and then he would like,
he'd kill you. If you're not a native of the household, he'll fucking kill you.
Yeah, so don't fuck with Rocky. That's the thing.
That is a winning bet. I know we had some losing bets at Vegas, but that I promise you, that is a guaranteed winner. So I feel like that's a good segue. Let's get into some winners for Phoenix. The Ruoff Mortgage 500.
The Gatorade Duels 500.
Gatorade Duels 500. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, we're just gonna take Gatorade and just run with it at every race.
Gatorade is
just even outside of Daytona. We want Gatorade back. We need Gatorade back as a sponsor.
No offense to Ruoff Mortgage or Ruoff.
No, not at all. No, they only paid $8 billion to get the sponsor entitlement for the race. So
a lot of money.
Yeah. So what are you thinking so far? What are we looking at?
Well, man, look, I'm excited for Phoenix, obviously, getting out here into the desert. I mean, this is the championship track. This is the track that everybody is just, ready to smack down at. I mean, this is the track that we're going to see at the end of the season. So I'm really expecting some of NASCAR's, brightest and flyest drivers to do well here. I've been seeing a lot of action on a bunch of different guys, and there's there's a lot of stuff going around right now before qualifying. But I mean, looking at it in this direction, like I'm kind of staying in the territory of, some of these guys that don't have the longest odds necessarily. So I'm kind of staying in like the top 5, top 10 area of the favorites so far. And I've got a couple of, I got 2 outrights so far. I think you have 4 bets as well. I've got 2 outrights, a matchup, and I have a top 10. Are you equally matching me with those same bets style?
Yeah,
bets?
I got 4. 2 are up on Action. By the time you see this video, they'll all be up on Action Network. Excuse me. Actually, one of them, and I don't know why, one of them was a featured matchup, and for some reason, Action isn't allowing the DraftKings featured matchups yet. I don't know why that is, but that's in what I'm going to talk about, and you can take this pick, whenever you want. Just can't record it on Action at the moment. So you'll see 3 of them on Action Network, hopefully 4 if they fix whatever problem they're having. But yeah, I'm with you on 4. I got 2 outrights, 1 top 5, and 1 featured matchup.
And hey, look, you're talking about taking the picks. You can take a pick like a bet, but if you take a pick of Dale in the pantry right now, you have to get consent from Rocky before you can do anything. So if you take this picture right now and you put it on Twitter for some reason, and you have to tag Dale, and then you have to say, "Can I have consent from Rocky?" That's what you have to do.
I'm trying to get you to sit in my lap, you little bitch.
Yeah, because see, if you don't get consent, your arm is going to get hammered. Okay, hard.
Yeah,
be prepared.
He's packing some.
Yeah, we'll bring him to your house. We'll let him loose. Okay, he's ready to run. But back to the bets though. Yeah, I'm stoked for Phoenix, man. We're gonna see a lot of breaking this week. I've been doing a little bit of work trying to compile some data. So hopefully in a couple of weeks, I'm gonna have something for the Garage Fam really special. Don't forget that GarageGuysFantasySports.com, as my child sings around the house sometimes. That is back live. So we will have articles up this week for the Xfinity race and for the Cup race, bets and DFS, and we will be doing quick picks. Looks like Rocky's doing a little quick pick right now. He's trying to get it on there. You should just a webcam in that room, man. Just like watch him, yell at him, like get like a baby monitor. He'll just like what else does he do that to in that room, man? I mean, it's all your food.
We got a new bag of dog food here. By the way, we have a lot of dogs, so you might see a lot of cans of dog food. My family does a lot of rescue work, so we have fosters in and out of this house. So
that's why we have dog food,
stockpiles of dog food.
All Dale eats is Chef Boyardee. The whole household, you just eat Chef Boyardee. That's it.
Yeah, Phoenix is going to be fun, man. Back to the desert. This is a very important race for everybody in Cup and Xfinity. Trucks are off, but Cup and Xfinity come here twice a year, and obviously the second race when they come back in November is the championship race. So very important to find out what they have early in the spring, and they could learn a lot about what they could have coming back for the championship race if they are in the championship course. So very important, pivotal race. Typically, since they moved this race to the championship race, winners and guys that have run up front in this spring race typically run up front in the championship race as well. So it's very important. And I think one metric you could use to possibly predict who runs well is who do you think is going to win the championship? Your championship contenders will likely be running up front in the top 5, leading a lot of laps, and will win this race. So keep that in mind.
All right, that's the bottom line. That's why I said I'm kind of sticking to maybe not the longest odds. We're teetering around the 1,000 area, but I may definitely have a long shot after qualifying. But let's go ahead and get into the bets. I know there's one bet that I took today. I'm telling you, you took this one the day before yesterday, I believe. So I figure it's only right for us to start off with the big stat guy himself, short track legend, the man that made us rich early in the season that no one on Action Network knows about, because unfortunately we weren't there yet. If we were, we'd probably be sitting a little bit prettier than we are currently, but that's okay because we still have time. It's Mr. Joseph Logano, Joey L, Joseph L, or just Joey. Right now over on DraftKings Sportsbook, I think I locked him in at plus 900. Actually, on FanDuel, I locked him in at plus 900. Where did you end up getting his odds? You were a day before me.
Still 900. He hasn't really moved much. I anticipate after practice qualifying, we could see that line come down a little bit if he practices and qualifies real well. No. He got a hole in it. I didn't think he could do it.
Rocky, does this mean you don't like Joey?
Here, take this. Take this. Here, go grab. Watch it. He'll go. Here, grab you some. He'll go in there and he'll just. He won't sit there and just like not chomp at it. He'll just grab as much as he can because he knows I'm gonna close it, and just brings it back down. All right, so
it's kind of like Joey. You just got to take as much as you can before it closes down. He hasn't really won much this season.
He took a big bite at the Clash.
At all, except for the Clash.
Yeah, he took a big bite at the Clash, and yes, I think we could expect that again at Phoenix. I got him at plus 900, and just to jump on his stats, he has 328 laps led here over like the past 4 or 5 races, with 1 win and 3 top 3 finishes. I mean, he's been absolutely phenomenal here. He duked out with Kevin Harvick and beat him in 2020. He always runs up front here, and Penske as a whole has been good here. And when Brad Kay was here, he was really solid in the last couple of years. So I think Joey Logano is a great pick. There's a lot of characteristics about Phoenix that resemble short tracks. And when I wrote about the Clash, I wrote about how Joey Logano has been one of the top 3 most efficient short track racers in the series over the past 5 to 6 years. I think with some similar characteristics at Phoenix to some of these other short tracks, like flatter short tracks, you could see Logano be really successful. He was fast in testing. He had top 3 speed in both testing sessions they had in January with this aero package. So Logano's got to be a top play. As good as he's been, I would at least take him for a top 3 because since 2020, he's got 3 top 3 finishes at Phoenix. And like I said, 328 laps led and 1 win that came in 2020, and he could have had more. So I think Logano's got to be one of the top plays of the weekend.
Be eating good, bagging good, and that's going to be the guy that we're both going to be rooting for on Sunday for sure. But going outside of what Dale and I both like, getting more individual, I guess I'll go ahead and just say I've been itching to talk about mine. So I picked this guy early in the week. I saw a couple of people kind of started falling around on him as well. So I know right now we've got at least over on Action Network, we got at least 2 people riding with this pick that I've made. But it's Denny Hamlin for Joe Gibbs Racing. Main reason that I bet on this guy is just because probably the wrong reason. The first one, obviously he's got great stats at this track. Looking back into the past here, the last 3 races, I mean, he's got top 5s. And even though like he can't get the championship closed, like I feel like that makes it even more of a want to have him to win, because like I just think back to when he raced at Homestead. I left him out of pretty much every one of my DFS lineups back in 2020. Him and Ryan Blaney go on to just completely dominate that race. I feel like there's like that weird energy around Denny where he's, you get him at a track that he knows he's got to like perform and win at. He'll go win it on the race that's not the championship, and then won't be able to close the door when it's time to do it at that same track. So I kind of have a little bit of that energy around it. And then just 2, he's had such bad luck. And he's one of these drivers where I feel like he's not going to have the same waiting period that he had last year. He's definitely a wheelman. He's had some issues getting used to this car. I feel like coming into this week, we're going to see a completely different Denny, possibly dominant Denny, and I'm banking on him to be dominant. But the confidence level that I have in Denny is just through the roof, and he will be the only Joe Gibbs Racing driver that I have anything to do with betting-wise this week, which may be a dumb thing based off of what the industry's on right now. But that's just what I got to leave it at. So that's my gut boy of the week, Denny Hamlin. Care to take it away for your next pick, which is also, I believe, in the JGR camp?
Yeah, and I mean, the biggest thing about us is we don't listen to the fucking industry. That's why we've been successful. So stay in the JGR camp. I think Gibbs is going to be good. Gibbs has won 5 out of the last 9 races here at Phoenix. And I'm not going to rule Denny out. I'm just going to wait on other outrights up, until we see practice and qualifying. I think I'll have up to 4 outrights. Martin Truex Jr. Martin Truex Jr. was the best driver at Phoenix last year. He won the spring race, and I know he didn't win the championship race, but if it weren't for a late race caution that screwed him out of it, he probably would have won because he had the best long run car. One thing I like about Truex's camp with his crew chief, James Small, is that they excel on playoff tracks. And it's like they almost sandbag everywhere else. But when it comes to playoff tracks, we saw how good he was at Vegas last week. Arguably could have won that race if it stayed green. He was running Kyle Busch down. They had a great battle going before Erik Jones had crashed. And then Phoenix last year, I mean, he was the best. You know, at the end of the day, the cars just didn't shake out. But his stats here are tremendous. Last year, like I said, he led the most laps. He led like 78 laps in this race and another 70 or 80 in the championship race. And he's got four top 6 finishes in his last 6 races, 5 top 10s. The exception was a wreck where he finished 32nd. If you go back to his last 9, we're looking at 5 top 5s and 4 top 3 finishes. So he's absolutely killed it here, especially since he left the 78 Furniture Row car and went to the number 19. He's just been absolutely incredible at Phoenix, and he only has 1 win to show for it, but I have a good feeling about Truex. I grabbed him at plus 750. I honestly could see that line moving in a favorable direction if you want to bet on Truex, because they always kind of sandbag in qualifying. And then once the long run kicks in, their car kind of kicks in, and then they come to the front. So I wouldn't be surprised if he closed around 750 to 900 come race time, but I think Truex is going to be fast. I think Joe Gibbs as a whole is going to be fast, but I think Truex is going to lead the charge for the JGR fleet.
Yeah, dude, anytime I see Truex, like even last week, I don't know what it is about him, but like he just reminds me of a fucking like evil shark. He just comes out of nowhere, and then you see him just like tailing the leader, and it's like I've had that man in probably at least 3 races of my life, like where like my guy is winning the race, and then all of a sudden it's just like dun it. You see that fucking 19, dude, and you're just like, they're not gonna make it. Like they're gonna just swallow his ass.
That is
whole.
a good way. I've lost multiple races because
He's
he
a
came
fucking
up late
stalker, dude.
But it's and then when I bet on him, it's the exact opposite. He'll dominate and then lose it in the last few laps. One thing I hate about Truex, and hopefully it doesn't come down to it, Phoenix historically does not come down to late race restarts most of the time. Truex has just not been very good at restarts. It's just not a big restart guy. Last week's a perfect example. He finished 8th when he really should have run 4th or 3rd. So long runs, a lot of long runs in Phoenix, not a lot of attrition. Could be different with a new car, but I doubt we see as much carnage as we saw at Vegas or Fontana, or especially Daytona. So I think this could play out well for Martin Truex on Sunday.
I'm excited to see what it really does shake out to. More braking involved always just makes me, especially right now with them trying to get everything set on these cars. Like I just feel like we're just going to be listening to Two Princes by the Spin Doctors a lot on
song.
Sunday.
Love that song.
1, 2, spin. Yeah. So it's going to be fun to see how it does flow. But yeah, with the closing out, just with the Truex comments, man, he is just he's definitely a closer, but he's like a scary, evil closer. So and he also probably is great at just jumping on a treadmill that's already moving, because he's a long run guy. You know, doesn't want to take time to get going, just wants to go all in. So shout out to him. Aside from that, I want to move in. I've got a top 10 bet that I want to talk about. And this is a guy that I would have never in my life thought that I would be betting on it as a top 10 ever again until 2022 come along. And for some ungodly reason, which I know the reason and the answer to that reason, but you know, he's doing really well. That's Erik Jones, plus 190 for a top 10. He's still plus 200 on DraftKings. I just had some money over on my Barstool Sportsbook account, so I just went ahead and just locked him up over there. I should have moved it, but I also wasn't aware at the time. So I tell you these things now so that you can do better than me. So go do that. Reason that I'm locking this up is just the speed has been there. We all know that he's a wheelman, and obviously you got to have very strong hands to drive these cars, because these cars are not for, 5-year-olds. If a 5-year-old tried to drive this car, the wheel would drive the 5-year-old. So that's pretty much the best way to put it. And Erik Jones has just been more than impressive in this car. I never thought that we'd see the 43 run this good at an intermediate. I mean, Auto Club, and even with the issues that he had at Vegas with the wreck, I mean, he still was just great, and he was flying. coming down towards the end. I mean, he was one of the fastest movers. So they've really got something figured out over there. And I mean, if this car is really supposed to be all about driver talent, when you look at the records back just for Phoenix, even before we had this new car, you know, he wasn't that far off the mark from some of these other guys. I mean, I'm looking down here now, and just to see him, I mean, he's down in like the 20s area, but he's had, what was it, a top 10 finish here in Richard. Well, this was back with Joe Gibbs. He was running in the 20s with Richard Petty Motorsport. But I mean, I feel like it's simple to say that, like, with him having the really good equipment with Joe Gibbs and with the equipment being more equal now, it probably would shake out. But just off of the statistics alone that we have just for this year, he's in the top 10 in multiple categories as far as speed goes, as far as, you know, running position, laps in the top 15, those types of things. So I definitely want to take the plus money on that, and I don't think it's a bad gamble whatsoever. I'm putting 0.6 units on it. So I'm doing that basically because I'm having to do math with my unit counts. But
I don't hate that. I don't hate
yeah.
that. It's as good as he's been this year on just overall speed. I know the tracks are totally different, but I think that's good value. It's
I think
somebody
about
who's had
Darlington
top 10
too,
speed
though.
every time.
I don't want to compare Phoenix to Darlington, but like for some
Not even
reason in my
close.
brain, we talked about it ourselves. Like Darlington's Darlington, Phoenix is Phoenix, you know. But it's just like for some reason in my brain, they're there. It's just the different. I guess the turns are different in each corner, so that's just
It's
something
the whole.
to think about.
Those tracks are almost complete opposites. But yeah, I just think that's a good play for the standpoint of his speed this year, and the books are going to keep undervaluing him, it seems. So, well, if you can grab him at plus 200 or more, I think that's a decent bet for sure. So I'm going to roll into one of my props. I'm going to go and do my last two because they're the same person. But Christopher Bell, I hate riding somebody for 3 weeks in a row, and this is what I'm doing with Bell. I rode him last week. He was good. If he hadn't spun it when he was going for second place, who knows what he could have done, because he was lightning fast mid-late portion of that race. And then at Fontana, he was pretty fast. I think he had a top 10 car and wrecked. So it's been a struggle to start the season, even though he did get a top 10 last week. But shorter, flatter tracks have been really good for Christopher Bell. Last year, he had 2 top 5s at Richmond. He ran second at New Hampshire. And at Phoenix, he had 2 top 10s in his first year with Joe Gibbs Racing. So with that being said, I think top 5 at plus 350 is an excellent play. I think it's a great play for an underdog win. He opened at plus 3,000 on some books. He's already down to plus 2,000. That tells you where the money's been put. So I'm not on him for the win just yet. I think if he shows out in practice and qualifying, he won't move that much. I think he'll move into the teens, and I still think I'm willing to wait and see on that. But for top 5 at plus 350, that's something that could move to potentially, if he's really fast in practice and qualifying, that could move more to getting really close to even money. So I'm going to take that while it's there. And I've already told you about the stats. I mean, the stats are there. And a guy who does not have the stats at Phoenix is Alex Bowman. With the exception of when he took over for Dale Earnhardt Jr. in 2016, when he led a bunch of laps and wrecked Matt Kenseth at the end, which happy birthday, Matt Kenseth, by the way. He shared a birthday with Matt.
I found that out today.
Yeah. Great. I want to say great minds think alike, but great spirits just mesh together. I actually don't like Matt Kenseth, and I like you, so we can't say that. But with the exception of that race where he dominated in Dale Jr.'s car when Dale Jr. was concussed, I think he finished 3rd or 5th or something like that. He has no top 10s in 6 or 8 starts at Phoenix since 2018, which is remarkable considering how much success Alex Bowman has had. And it kind of tells you a little bit about his inconsistencies just since he's been in the 88 and the 48, since he's been paired up with Greg Ives, essentially. I think there's a little bit of a high after he won at Vegas. The books are valuing him at the exact same price as Christopher Bell. It's a featured matchup that I have on DraftKings at minus 115 for Bell to beat Bowman. The stats are there. I mean, there's no matchup where you can find better value on the board than Christopher Bell to beat Alex Bowman, because everything is there. Bowman has really struggled at Phoenix, while Christopher Bell has been good at Phoenix and Xfinity and has been great on flat tracks. So
It's
that's
the
really
hometown
it.
curse for Alex Bowman. I mean, he's a Phoenix guy.
He is, yeah. A lot of guys, it takes them forever to do well at their home tracks before they actually bust through. So
yeah, it's not fair. I mean, look at Kurt Busch. 2020, he finally won Vegas. That's his hometown.
Yeah. Kyle Busch
is like that.
Kyle Busch has only won at Vegas twice, I think.
Yeah.
So I mean, he hasn't had like tremendous success, and he got cursed last week. So yeah, I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bowman has 8 consecutive starts at Phoenix without a top 10. You got to take Christopher Bell there. I mean, it's baffling to me that the line is what it is, which is they're the same exact odds against each other. So that's hammer time for me. It could if Bell wrecks, then fuck it. I mean, whatever. I'm gonna ride with what's most likely to happen, considering the statistics. Christopher Bell is so due for a good run.
I feel you on that. So I mean, that's not really a bad one at all. And I don't know. I have to teeter with that. I have a matchup that's kind of a lot different than that. It's still featuring a Toyota and a Chevrolet though. And this one is I don't know why, but I'm low key becoming I never said I would be like a fan, but like I'm a big fan of this guy this week. Kurt Busch over Austin Dillon at -103. I like this bet for a couple of reasons, and some stats may say otherwise. When you're looking at past stats between Kurt and Austin Dillon, the only thing that's really different is one or two top 10s, and then one of them doesn't have any top 10s, which is Austin Dillon. So they're pretty equal, honestly, in my mind. And just looking at the statistics that I've seen, even with the new data that I've looked at from just the past 2 weeks, Austin has been finishing like a little bit better, but they are still neck and neck. So this is one of those like power plays of mine where I'm like, this is truly an unknown, but like it can teeter totter either way. But at 103, I want to take the veteran. I want to take the dog. And he's also got one of the sexiest paint schemes in the field with the money line racing at the 45. They're releasing a pair of J's with them, and I'm doing everything I can to win them.
The J's look win those. Fucking sick, and the car looks sick too. I can't hate that pick. Sometimes you got to pick the better paint scheme, and I mean that's
look at Junior. Junior knows. Junior would appreciate that.
Absolutely, I think he totally would.
So I feel like with this pick with Toyota, with me being really high on Gibbs, you're high on Gibbs. I feel like that's got to translate somehow with these other Toyotas. I mean, I've been hearing a little bit of chatter about 23XI in general having a decent run here. So I think it's going to be a good week for Yodas. I got to go with Kurt over Austin Dillon on that one. And that's
I like that.
103.
I would do the same thing. I think Austin Dillon, I know that on flatter tracks like Richmond, Martinsville, he's kind of struggled. I don't know. I couldn't tell you exactly what his stats are for Phoenix, but I don't think he's had a bunch of great runs here. He's had a good start to the season, though, with some speed. 2 tracks that are totally different, though, than Phoenix, obviously. And Kurt has had some success here, so I'd go with you on that one. I think Austin Dillon would be a favorite 100% due to the start of the season he's had.
I'll put it to you this way. In the past 10 races, he has only had one top 10. That's where he finished 8th back in 2018.
There you go.
Everything else has been in the 20s, the 30s, and he has never surpassed 15th, I believe, or 14th. So we've seen Kurt have a little bit more action, and I just think that the car is going to be a little bit better this week. I'm here for it. I feel like Reddick will probably be the better out of the 2 this week. And I feel like, at some point, someone's going to take a little back end marker. And I feel like at this track specifically, I just see the veteran getting it done. I think Kurt has potential for a top 10. I mean, I'm not there yet, but I'll see after qualifying. And if I do, I might just load up on it. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I want to see that paint scheme do well. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a sexy one. And speaking of sexy paint schemes, sorry, Rocky. No, please don't attack me. I know you love it. This is a Chase Elliott throwback Hooters. And
Hooters. The sexiest of all time.
Yeah, the retro owl. Very sexy. And we can't wait to see the Retro Row at Gateway. It's the first race of the Retro Row comes back for Chase Elliott. So for Hooters, Dine and Dale, remember, Dine and Dale always has you covered. If you spend $40 or more, dine in at your Hooters, you can save $10 by giving your waitress a promo code Garage Guys. That is valid at HOA locations and valid on non-alcoholic beverages, food, and merch. Dine and Dale always has you covered. Save yourself $10 off any meal, $40 or more. And look at this race car, man. It's so nice.
And see, just imagine if you had that race car, you wouldn't want to go sit down inside of a restaurant. You would want to go. Okay. So takeout guy, promo code Garage Guys, Hooters app, HootersToGo.com, $10. That's what you save off of any order, $30 or more. And that is valid at participating locations for delivery and carryout orders only. That was my first time saying the disclaimer for the last time that I said it too.
I know. So, I forgot the HOA. The HOA part is important. Valid at, or redeemable at HOA locations.
You got to remember that
for both orders, for both carryout and dine-in.
So before we get into our quick picks for DFS, I just want to say you got a cool thing on, but I am back in love with polos, dude. I got my Hooters Racing polo. I've been wearing these a lot. I get a lot of compliments. People ask me all the time, like, oh, like literally, I got asked today, do you own Hooters? Like literally, a guy asked me that, and I was just like, yeah, no, I don't own Hooters. I was like, but we work for Hooters Racing.
That'd be funny if you
just said, love.
Yeah, and then they just looked at you like, and you're just like,
no, Hooters has racing.
No
Hooters
explanation.
Races?
I fucking own that place.
Yeah, straight up. No, like I had a guy at a service station. He said, Hooters races. He was like, the girls race. I was like, no, yeah, but no. He was like, what? Like, and I'm like, you ever heard of Chase Elliott? And he's like, oh yeah, I've heard that guy's name before. And I'm like, yeah, well, NASCAR's back. You should probably start watching it. And I left. And like, I did say that. So that was truthful. But you got some, is that some Jeremy Mayfield love you're getting?
Yeah, I meant to tweet about this. Just been so busy. It's been sitting in the drafts. But one thing I don't know if I think people that follow us closely know my favorite two drivers growing up. I'm going to exclude Dale Earnhardt Sr. from this because he died and I was really young. Didn't get to see. I don't have like a really full memory of watching Dale Sr. race. I have a vague memory. Oh, we got a dog walking up. Uh-oh.
Was he a Gordon fan?
What's that?
Is Rocky a Gordon fan?
He I don't know what. I mean, he might be after that. Actually, our other dog, Sugar, walked up and I think Sugar saw the Hooters car and wanted to come take a closer look. And Rocky was like, nah, get out of here, bitch. But so I was a Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt Jr. fan, top two drivers by far. My third favorite driver growing up was Jeremy Mayfield. I feel like people don't know that about me. And it wasn't this car as much as the number 19. Evernham loved that number 19, but
that's what's crazy.
Car was sick, dude. This car was sick, and this shirt, I just couldn't turn it down.
No, dude.
So yeah, I got some new gear. So,
I love the Pegasus, man. Huge Pegasus fan. It looked nice on Almirola's car. Almirola hadn't been that bad this year, man. What is he now?
Yeah, he's
consecutive top 10s.
Been really good, really good. Very surprised by that. I wasn't high on him at all this year, but like you, I am high on the Pegasus. The OG Pegasus is the shit.
Yep,
and it always will be.
Yeah, you got to fly high. I mean, Jeremy, there's some comments that could be made that Jeremy, wanted to fly high like the Pegasus as well. But he just had to say it,
I knew it was coming as soon as
we can't blame him. He was great. He was good, man. He was good at what he did. And I've learned a lot about Jeremy Mayfield through you. Therefore, I have myself now a Jeremy Mayfield shirt just because I was like, my dad would never let me wear anything Ford in the household. So now that I'm, a full grown adult, 3 for Dale, 0, 30, I can get my own stuff. By the way, someone bought the Mobile One jacket that I wanted. And that was like $75 on eBay, and they're now selling it for $250 on like every other app. So,
damn, RIP.
Yep, RIP.
Yeah, Dodge, Jeremy Mayfield, 2004. If you're not a traditional diehard fan, if you're kind of newer to the sport, or I guess got to do it in the teens, look up 2004 fall race at Richmond. One of the most clutch wins in the history of NASCAR. Jeremy Mayfield. You just gotta look it up. It was fucking incredibly clutch. Loved it.
Absolutely
loved it. and that
Shout out
was
to Casey
one of the big
Kane.
things. Yeah, Casey Kane. Casey Kane was so fast as a rookie in his first couple of years. It's a
Chase
shame. I
Elliott
feel like Kane could have
1.0.
been way
That
more.
was him.
Oh man, like 3.0. I don't actually. Kane won earlier than Chase, but
I'm talking as far as the popularity ratings, like with the ladies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Kane was like he was a looker. He definitely was a looker in 2004 when he
My
bursted
mom
onto
had
the
Casey
scene.
Kane like sleep pants.
And they had these commercials where all the girls were drooling over him and shit. Like, yeah, you're not wrong about that.
Drank a lot of Mountain Dew.
Yeah, maybe so. He was too skinny to be drinking the amount of Mountain Dew that he advertised that he was drinking.
Every
They
time he
were a big
walked out of the
Everhand sponsor.
hospital, like in a wreck, Mountain Dew right there. He was ready to go. And shout
Absolutely.
out to him. But yeah, so that was a cool talk that we had. And let's go ahead now and just do our DFS quick picks. And then we're going to get out of here and get ready for Phoenix.
It's really fucking hot in this pantry right now. And I got to get Rocky some water in a few minutes. So I took his water bowl out of here when we started. And
I turned my microphone off so no one had to hear me sneeze, but I sneezed. It's allergy season, by the way.
Bless you.
And also I have this mustache now. You know, I took advice and my mustache is returned. So
Looks
it's
a lot
just
better.
like my nose is
Good
just like,
mojo.
what is this strength underneath me?
That's how we bring Mojo back to the track.
That's it, baby.
I haven't really made any adjustments. I really don't feel like I can. I don't know.
You don't really need to. I mean, you have the mullet. If you shave the mullet, we'd be fucked. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'd have to retire. Going to the Claiborne.
I feel like I would like shave every part of like my face. I'd have no mustache, no hair. I'd be bald. Like I'd be lost if you didn't have the mullet and I didn't have the stash. It's like, what was I doing this whole time? I was being a
what
homeless
the fuck
bum.
are we even doing here? Yeah.
It's
all
crazy.
Right, let's talk some DFS.
Let's do this. So we're 2 weeks into this now, doing this whole thing where we're doing DFS quick picks. We did pretty decent last week with our high boys. I had Byron, you had
Reddick, so we did.
Reddick.
Yeah.
We did decent. We were in the top 10. It wasn't the best DFS plays by any means, or dominators by any means. We thought that we would, but our low boys, we had Hemrick and Custer, right?
Abysmal for Cole Custer.
It was
after I think that probably not a good idea to take Cole 2 weeks in a row. I think there's too much volatility in that number 41 car.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go a different route. Yeah.
A little bit too much custard.
I'm going to give my 2 picks. For my dominator pick, I'm going to go with Joey Logano, $10,400 on DraftKings. For reasons I stated earlier, last 4 races, 3 top 3 finishes, 328 laps led, and 1 win. The guy's been dominant at Phoenix since 2020. So I got to go with Joey Logano. And then for my value play, I guess the punt play, I'm going to go with Bubba Wallace. If you look at the statistics for his last 4 races, he's finished in the top 20 in 3 of those 4 races. And the one that he didn't, he was involved in a lap 5 crash last year. So maybe if that crash doesn't happen, you get another top 15, top 20 finish. It's been pretty stout at Phoenix. So at $6,400, I think that's a good value play for a punt play, if you will.
It's a big 10-4 for Logano. So shout out to 10-4. We do like 10-4s.
Big old 10-4.
That's a big 10-4. I probably will definitely have some Logano. I'll write up and be sure that you check out the DFS articles that we're going to have over on GarageGuysFantasySports.com this weekend. But I do like that, and I love the Bubba one as well at 6-4. He's interesting, and like you're not the only person I've heard talk about that. So I cannot wait to see how the qualifying works. We'll check out some more stats, and then we'll try to get him thrown into a couple of lineups to see what he does. My 2 are going to be Denny Hamlin as the dominator. Like I said, I'm not losing this vision. Like I literally told someone earlier today, like if I wouldn't have wanted to make sure that I pumped extra juju into the statistical backing with Joey Logano, I may have just took Hamlin and that would have been game. I'm that confident in Hamlin this week, so I'm just going to let that ride out. And again, that's just due to the multiple top 5s that this man has had consecutively, except for that one time in 2020 where he finished 20th after starting 3rd. It was just a bad time. So no more bad times. The slide times, the spin times, all that's worked out. Toyotas are on the up and up. This man's about to shock some people. I feel like Hamlin at 10-1 is going to be good. So 10.1 and a 10-4, that's 2 awesome, really good plays right there for you for DFS. And then My punt play of the week is definitely based more on value. At 4,900 on DraftKings, I'm looking at Mr. Todd Gilliland. Becoming more and more of a Todd Gilliland fan these days. I had him last week in some lineups. He did really well, just for what he was. I mean, it could have been better, but there was just, if you didn't have Chastain, man, you were out. And that was kind of the boat that I found myself in last week. But Todd G here, man, I mean, it's just, he seems like he's one of those guys that's good at tapping the brakes. It seems like they got a little bit of speed there. He seems like he might be the wheelman at Front Row Motorsports, aside from Michael McDowell, who just likes to, life is a highway, run the Love's truck, but it's actually a car, but it's not.
We'll never win another race again.
Probably not ever in his life.
Yeah, I think Todd was good at Phoenix and trucks. Todd is tough because he doesn't have a lot of experience outside of trucks. So I don't know. I think he's been a big DFS play the last couple of weeks, but
yeah,
I'm high on Denny Hamlin.
It's at, man.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm high on Denny Hamlin. I think Denny, he's sitting 30th in points. I mean, he is poised for a strong run soon, and I think it could happen this weekend.
You know what I mean? Like, why wait? Like, what do you have coming up? We have Atlanta. We have Phoenix. Like, Atlanta is going to be another toss-up probably. It's going to be like Daytona, in my opinion.
I'm not looking forward to that, but
we'll see. Coda, I mean, that's Cindric or Elliott's playground probably. Maybe Reddick. I might be making picks for Coda right now on the.
Or Larson. Don't rule out Larson. Larson was really good at the road courses last year.
Or Joey. Maybe we should just pick who we had last year and we'll do right. Except we didn't pick Chase. That was terrible. We didn't want to do minus 1,000 though.
Yeah, the rain ruined it. The rain ruined it.
That's gonna be my 2 this week. So Denny Hamlin, Todd Gilliland. Todd Gilliland's 4,900. Denny Hamlin's 10-1. Logano 10-4, and then you also have Bubba Wallace at 6-4. So yeah, we'll add those up and do some Chase math. We'll figure out the average.
I think that could be a good lineup, but tune into practice and qualifying to kind of see how that could change, I guess, from a value perspective, for sure.
That's right. Look, this has been a great show. It's been good to see you, Rocky. Put the headphone in his ear. Let me talk to him. I'm gonna say something.
Hey, Rocky. Chase wants to talk to you.
Rocky.
He's not having it. I feel like he's about to bite me. No.
Rocky. What's in the box?
That counts. Actually, I don't want to put that back in my ear.
That's okay. He just wants to ignore me all the time. That's okay, though. He's like one of the only people that ignore me, and I'll just let him walk all over me. That's all right.
Yeah.
We love him.
That's what he does. That's who he is.
That's it. It's his story, and we're sticking to it. And this has been our story, and we're sticking to it. Don't forget to check out everything else, GarageGuysFantasySports.com. Follow me at Garage Guy Chase. Follow Dale at Dale Tanhardt. And we appreciate everybody watching this. It's been a great birthday. Shout out to Matt Kenseth and Metallica. And shout out to Rocky, our special guest of the show. Enjoy the Chef Boyardee cans. So long.
It's the Garage Guys. 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 It's the Garage Guys.